Children, today we will start the next chapter, that is writing and city life. This is the specimen of the writing which was written at that time, and this is the city which used to be there during that civilization which we are talking about. Children, these are the civilization and which were the contemporary civilization of the Mesopotamian civilization, and this chapter is also related to the Mesopotamian civilization like China. This is Indus Valley civilization. This is the Mesopotamian civilization, and our chapter is mainly concerned with this civilization, that is Mesopotamian civilization, and this is the Egyptian civilization. So all these civilizations used to be the contemporary civilization. In the last chapter we discussed about the evolution of human being, how human being evolved into a modern human being, what were the different phases of his evolution. We also read about how early man used to procure the food. We read that how he started making the tool, and at the last he started living a settled life because he learned how to cultivate the crops. And agriculture brought a halt in his life, and it resulted in the development of civilization, in the development of settlement, and slowly and gradually these settlements grew into the towns. So we are at that point of time when the town was developed, and first town was developed in the Mesopotamian civilization. So here today we are talking about the Mesopotamian civilization. Now one thing is common among all these civilizations, that all these civilizations developed at the bank of a river. Like you can see that this is the Chinese civilization which developed at the bank of river Hwanghe. Here it is Harappan civilization or Indus Valley civilization which developed around the river Indus and its tributaries. That's why it is called Indus Valley civilization. Egyptian civilization developed at the bank of river Nile, and we are talking about Mesopotamian civilization. It also developed in the middle of the two rivers. Let us talk about these two rivers and see which these two rivers are. You can see that this is the map of Mesopotamian civilization. This civilization developed in this part, and it is crescent shape. So this is called the crescent plain, and this used to be very fertile plain, and this area today lies in the region of Iraq. Now we were talking about the river, that rivers are quite helpful in the development of a civilization. So here we come across the two rivers. One is the Tigris river which flows like this, and the second one is Euphrates. This is the Euphrates rivers. So you can see that the civilization developed between these two rivers. This area is called the Doab, or the area lying between the two rivers, and this area is very fertile because this area was getting water for the agriculture and other purposes from the two rivers Euphrates and Tigris, and these two rivers also used to bring a lot of silt and mud along with them, which was also good for the agriculture. The word Mesopotamia itself has been derived from the Greek word, and that is mesos, meaning the middle, and potamos, that means the river. It means the area lying between the two rivers or in the middle of the river is called Mesopotamia. So this civilization is known by the name of Mesopotamian civilization, and this is the oldest civilization of the world. Now we are talking about the Mesopotamian civilization. City life began in the Mesopotamian civilization, and it was a land lying between the two rivers, that is Euphrates and Tigris. The name Mesopotamia is also derived from the Greek word, that is middle. Mesos means middle, and potamos means rivers. The area lying between the rivers, that is called Mesopotamia. In the beginning of recorded history, the land mainly urbanized south, the southern part of Mesopotamia, was called Sumer and Akkad, and after 2000 BCE, the area came to be known as Babylonia because Babylon became an important city at that time in that area. Now you can see that this was the area where the first city developed, and you can see that the name is written Sumer, and later on it was known as Babylonia. So this was called Sumerian and Akkadian, and after 2000 BCE it was called as the Babylonian. We also get some references in the Old Testament about the Mesopotamian civilization, and it's a mythological book which is of Christianity. So in the book of Genesis of Old Testament, an area has been referred, and that area is called as the Simar or Sumer. So we are trying to know that whether the Sumer which we are talking about, which is in the southern part of Mesopotamia, is the same Sumer which has been referred in the book Old Testament. So to prove this fact, archaeological survey started in 1840s, and they started excavation at that place. In 1873, a British newspaper also funded an expedition of the British Museum to search for a tablet that tells the story of the flood. There is a story of the flood in Bible also, and let me tell you about this story. According to the Bible, the flood was meant to destroy all form of life on earth. However, God chose a man, Noah, to ensure that life could continue after the flood. Noah built a huge boat, an ark. He took a pair of each of all known species of animal and birds on board the ark, which survived the flood. And there was a strikingly similar story also found in Mesopotamian tablet, which has been recovered from the area of Sumer in 1873, where the principal character was also called Jeusudra. So Jeusudra was the principal character of the story of the flood, which is written on a clay tablet which has been recovered from the southern part of Mesopotamia, that is Sumer. So there is similarity between the story of the Bible as well as the clay tablet, which also narrates the same sort of story in Mesopotamia. Next is Mesopotamia and its geography. Let's discuss the geography of Mesopotamia, because geography is also very helpful for the development of a civilization. In the northeastern region, this is the northeastern region, and there are mountain ranges towards the northern side, from where the small streams comes down from the mountain, and after the winter, wildflowers and enough rainfall is there to grow the crops. So here agriculture began firstly in 7000 to 6000 BCE. Approximately 8000 years ago, agriculture started in this part of Mesopotamia. We talked that agriculture started in the northeastern part of Iraq, means this area, where the first agriculture was started about 7000 to 6000 BCE. Then we are talking about the eastern side of Mesopotamia, means we are talking now about this area. You can see that there are certain small streams which are coming down from the mountain regions, and it is coming down to the plain areas. So these tributaries used to provide the route for the communication and transportation into the mountainous region, and there used to be trade between the plain area and mountainous areas through these streams. So this is the geography of eastern Mesopotamia. Now come to the northern side. This is the northern side of Mesopotamia. You can see that there is a word steppe. So this is the steppe region, and steppe grassland is quite helpful for the pastoral life, for the nomadic life, and it is good for the grazing of animals. You can see from these images that this is the steppe plain where animal grazing can be done very easily, because after the winter season this area is full of grass, and which it provides the suitable condition for the rearing up of the flocks of sheep and goats. So mainly the people in this area are engaged in the pastoral activities, and they used to rear up the animals. Now come to the southern area of Mesopotamia. So this is the southern area of Mesopotamia, and this is the area where the first city developed, and writing also emerged in this part. And since this area is irrigated by the two rivers, that is Euphrates and Tigris, so they bring a lot of silt and mud from the northern mountains, and they deposit in this area. So this area has become quite fertile, and after entering into the desert area, its water flows, the river's water flows out into small channels, and these channels flood their bank, and in the past they used to function as the irrigation channel. So water could be let into the fields of wheat, barley and peas and lentils, when necessary. So Euphrates used to provide a lot of help in the development of agriculture. So the southern desert was most suitable for the agriculture because the river used to provide water for the irrigation. Though there was a little rainfall, but still the agriculture was very good and productive. And even though the region did not receive in ample rainfall, the crops used to grow very well, and it was the highly productive area at that time.